Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at what's going on out in our world being Puerto Vallarta, our state, Jalisco, our country, Mexico. And of course, we're also looking at what you're up to, what your questions are, your suggestions, your ideas on how to best connect here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. Of course, today is Tuesday. It is October the 11th, and it's a pleasure to see you. And it is a pleasure to welcome everyone to this broadcast. And if you are watching for the first time, please let us know if you are by writing the word new in your comment. If you do that, you'll give us the opportunity to wish you a nice welcome and a nice company, wish a nice stay here while we're enjoying each other's ideas. And of course, if you have something truly important that you wish to mention during the broadcast, if you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment, you increase the chances of us noticing your comment during the broadcast and not addressing it later on. So there you have it. That's what we do. And today we have all kinds of interesting news. Oh my God, the news today are so quirky. And I decided to throw in a little bit of a primer on a popular cocktail served here in Mexico. And you will see why as soon as we get done with it. So I think we are good to go. And I'm going to click the headline transition. So tomorrow we celebrate the arrival of Christopher Columbus' fleet to the Americas. How influential was this? Well, it was influential enough for City Hall to close its doors. It is one of those days that the government, at least in our state, takes as a holiday, with the exception, of course, of civil protection services, firefighters, traffic, and public services. So if you have any business to conduct at City Hall tomorrow or at any of the city official buildings, you will not find anybody to greet you. If you've been trying to register your newborn or get married in Pitillal in the past few days, you may have found the civil registry office in Pitillal closed. Unfortunately, the building where the office is located suffered considerable damage during the September 19th earthquake, so it has been impossible to get anything done. The good news is that the local government has opened a temporary office right on the Pitillal main plaza, where you will be able to handle all your public registry needs. The temporary office is seen here through the lens of a cell phone camera that probably has not been cleaned for a very long time. The federal government has updated some COVID-19 related sanitary guidelines. Of course, through the pandemic, our state has been dancing to the beat of its own drum when it comes to these guidelines. But here is some takeaway. There is some takeaway in this news item that is worth to consider. For example, it is unlawful for an employer to force you to take a COVID-19 test as a requisite to get back to work. For that matter, nobody should be able to stop you from working if you have not been vaccinated at all. The Federal New Normality Committee, there is such a thing in Mexico, also announced, although this is a vague announcement, that face mask use, both indoors and outdoors, is no longer obligatory, with a few exceptions where it is only suggested. But again, please keep in mind that this is at federal level, and it is worth remembering that the Jalisco Health Board will review and consider updating the guidelines for our state at the end of this month. But still, I thought that was interesting information for you to know. So many of us adopt a pet, a dog, for companionship, but many also adopt a dog as a protector for our homes. But what happens when your dog, in the process of protecting your home, gets a little carried away? Here's the story of Max. This is a pit bull living in the community of Copolla in the state of Chiapas. This past Friday, a robber attempting to break in and steal from Max's house was attacked by the dog, almost ripping apart one of the burglar's arms. Needless to say, the thief suffered major injuries and had to be carried away to the hospital in a state of emergency. The shocker is that now the burglar's family went to the authorities demanding the dog to be euthanized. This news item stirred animal protection agencies at national level, but fortunately the law is on Max's side, and authorities have declared, and I quote, that Max defended its home and its family. The dog did not attack outside of his home, so there is no law or procedure against the animal. What do you think about that? Let us know in your comments. I personally am glad that Max is safe and sound, and Max kept its owners safe and sound. Let us take a quick look at the weather just to see what's going on out there. Are you going to play with your meat stick, or are you going to check your weather report? My answer to that is really not appropriate for the program, so I'm keeping it to myself. It is 29 degrees out there right now. Humidity is at 64. May humidity continue to stay in the 60s and continue to decrease moving forward. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees, of course, is 84. And our weather forecast for today says humid throughout the day with a high of 33 and a low of 23. Tomorrow, Wednesday, humid and mostly cloudy with a high of 33 and a low of 22. And on Thursday, humid and partly cloudy with a high of 32 and a low of 23. And now, oh no, I went a little bit faster than I should. I remembered to push the comment button and switch over to the transition with background music, but we're not done with headlines. So let me turn that off. I'm getting better at this, friends. I'm getting better. After a 2-year absence, the Madonnari Festival returns to Puerto Vallarta in a month from today. Now in its 15th edition, this unique 3-day event places us up close and personal with over 100 sidewalk chalk painting artists that will be painting around City Hall and in the main plaza. Local folks, of course, are also encouraged to participate, and there are 4 categories to choose from depending on your age. Children 8 years of age and younger, children from 8 to 12, teenagers, and adults. This festival is one of the most beautiful outcomes of Puerto Vallarta's city sisterhoods, as it is part of the cultural exchange established with our sister city of Santa Barbara in California. And this year, the two top winners in the adult category get an all-expense paid trip to Santa Barbara next year to participate in their festival. How cool is that? But of course, for the most of us, or for the rest of us rather, Il Madonnari Festival is a great opportunity to just walk around the city and check out some really amazing sidewalk or chalk art. The festival takes place, I didn't even tell you when, did I? I forgot to bring out that information well, I did tell you that it is a month from today. I do remember now that it starts on November the 11th, and it goes on November the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th. And you can get all the information, of course. Uh, you can get all the information in the show notes. And what else is next? Oh, yes, the zombies. If you're looking for your very own zombie, yes, zombie soul brother or soul sister, you have to look no further. Mexico City's famous and infamous Zombie March is back for its 15th year this coming October 22nd. And after 2 years of pandemic, this year has a very specific theme. Quinceañera Zombie. There you go. And if you don't wish to go as far as Mexico City to find your zombie soulmate, you can attend Guadalajara's Zombie March on October 29. The zombie thing is not my thing, but, why do I know? Maybe some of you are zombie fans. Not too long ago, air fryers seemed to be more of a unique luxury item, but now they can be easily found in just about any supermarket, and they are much less expensive than they used to be. Perhaps you, like me, have been wondering about their benefits or how to use them properly. And we have just learned that Joint Co-working Hotel on Insurgente Street is hosting an air fryer Thanksgiving in Vallarta cooking class to take place on November 19th. All the offerings of the course, which is an entire Thanksgiving meal, will be prepared using an air fryer. And this may be the perfect opportunity to learn more about the appliance. There are more details available on the link that you will see in the show notes after the broadcast, as always. And now I've put together a little primer on Micheladas, and you will find out why in a second. And it may seem odd that now that the summer is over, this may seem like an odd time to discuss refreshing cheladas and micheladas, as they are a drink of choice during the summer month. I'm wondering if you've had one, but since we enjoy them all year long, this is a good time as any to talk about them. Of course, what you're looking at right now is a chelada. This is not a michelada, it's a chelada, which is pretty much beer with lime juice and ice, served on a tall glass, which can be rimmed with either salt or chili powder. Yum. These I love. But then this, on the other hand, is a michelada, not a chelada, but a michelada, which includes all the aforementioned ingredients, plus hot salsas and clamato juice or tomato juice. There are different recipes for these things. And some people even add a stalk of celery to theirs. And of course, at some point, folks must have gotten a little carried away, or maybe somebody got the munchies, leading to the reason why I bring this to your attention today in particular. Check out this monster. This is not a chelada or a michelada. This is a michelada with a bunch of edible chingaderas thrown on top of it, including octopus and avocado and shrimp and other ingredients. Is this getting too crazy for you? Well, it certainly is a little crazy for me, but I'm not going to say no. These are called michelonas, and I'm wondering if anybody has ever had one. I've never even craved one, as I tend to side with a basic no-frills chelada. But these seem to be very popular, and the reason why I bring them to your attention today is because I spotted this monstrosity on the Facebook page of this local restaurant called Michelon. It is located here in Puerto Vallarta along Avenida Universo, not far from the Maritime Terminal. Again, it's not that I'm recommending this particular restaurant. I am simply curious whether this type of concoction has been part of your diet at any point in time. I have to say that it hasn't been a part of mine. Again, I've been happy just drinking cheladas when I'm thirsty and I want something very refreshing. But if you've ever had one of these monsters, please feel free to let us know in your comment. Please feel free to let us know if you crave one. I find them a little bit too much of everything for my own taste, but no judgment. I'd love to hear your comments on these little creations, which can be found not only at this restaurant, but at several different places throughout the city. And this brings us to our comments for the day. Let us quickly take a look at what we have. We have a bunch of good mornings, which are very much appreciated. Do dee doo dee doo do 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 do. Oh, of course, this is when I hit the happy music button. Yay! Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Susan. How are your card reading and your tarot events going? Are you still doing them at the bookstore? Please let us know if there is something that we should be announcing at some point in the future. Of course, Susan does tarot readings, and she has been involved in an ongoing event. I don't know if you're still doing it. Please feel free to let us know so we can recommend it. Let's see what else. Terry says, good morning, all. Well, wasn't that a party? Yes, that was a party. And I think we're all talking about Thanksgiving at Whiskey Kitchen. Let's see what else we have. Doody 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 doo. Louise says, glad Max is safe. Dave says, long live Max. Yes. And I don't know about you. I've never met an unfriendly pit bull. Pit bulls get all this bad reputation, but every friend that I've known that has had pit bulls has had the most loving, adorable dogs. It is absolutely wonderful. Let's see. Linda says, Max did what he was supposed to do. Brian says, yay, Max. I love it. There's a lot of support for Max here. I love it. But, it does bring an important and interesting point. What happens when your dog gets carried away? Well, it's a discussion we're not having that discussion right now just because we're not suited for it. But no, it's an interesting point. That's all I'm trying to say. Let's see. I wouldn't go there with burglary on my mind if Max was there. Good dog. Lots of support for Max. I love it. Mark has a question. Did I miss something when we were gone? Does Facebook no longer offer reminders for the show? As far as I know, Mark, well, first of all, welcome back from Petra and all these wonderful places that you visited. As far as I know, Facebook continues to send out notifications, but Facebook, sometimes they change their settings and sometimes they act differently. And there's only so much we can do at this end to change that. But also to be known, we're always here, 10:30 in the morning. So there you have it. Let's see. What? Just had an air fryer toad in the hole for breakfast. Okay, I have no idea what a toad in the hole is, but that sounds disgusting. You don't mean a literal toad, I hope. Oh, here's another one. Air fryer toad in the hole. There you go. See, there's two of us that are a little lost with that comment. Brian says, also, if you haven't been to Micheladas, you have to go. Again, there are different restaurants that offer these things. Lisa sides with them. Micheladas are amazing. See, one of these days, I have to break my own comfort circle and just go there and explore them. The whole combination just sounds so revolting to me. But again, it's not the first time that I would go out and try something that I thought was revolting and then changed my mind. Sheila loves them. I think that's wonderful. Harold, don't play with my mind. I am sure that we had a weather report just a few seconds ago. Let's see what else we have. Linda says they're delicious, but more like a meal than a drink, and they are costly, of course, because of all the seafood ingredients, but yummy. See, I'm so grateful to read your comments because, as a Mexican national, I've always been kind of like, oh my God, do I really have to try this? Thank you very much for that. Chris asks, do Mexican nationals celebrate Thanksgiving? No, we don't, but sometimes some of us enjoy being invited to partake in Thanksgiving because it is a fun celebration. For me, I celebrated Canadian Thanksgiving for the first time yesterday. I've never celebrated it before. And I have very much enjoyed celebrating U.S. Thanksgiving, certainly while I lived in the United States, and when I've been invited to Thanksgiving dinners here in town. But Mexico as a country does not celebrate Thanksgiving. Ba-da-ba-ba. God bless you, Luisa. My cats need some security training from Max. I hear you. I think Luna would not do a good job if somebody broke into the house. Oh, there you go. A toad in the hole is a cracked egg on a buttered piece of toad topped with cheese. No toads were harmed here. Haha, I love that. No toads were harmed here. I am an air fryer newbie, Brian. I don't own one. I haven't thought that I needed to own one, but then again, I could be persuaded, and I'll keep this toad in the hole business in mind next time I crave a different type of breakfast. And this, my friends, brings us to the end of today's Coffee and Headlines. Michael comments on yesterday, Gina is a hands-on owner. Watching her run last night made me tired. Great job by everyone last night. My personal takeaway from last night at Whiskey Kitchen's Thanksgiving was that it was the perfect family vacation experience. It's like going home to the relatives. There was a lot of food. There was a lot of great food. There was a lot of great conversation. There was chaos. There was joy. There was a little bit of everything. And it was a wonderful, memorable time. So this pretty much brings us into the end of today's broadcast. I hope you had a good time here with us for these past few minutes, and I hope you'll come back tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, I hope you'll come back sometime soon. Have an awesome day.